Hey guys, my name is Danny and I'm your life and relationship coach. And today I wanted to cover the topic of rebuilding trust in a marriage. Um, Rebuilding trust is a little tricky, right? It is something that's going to take time, and it's going to take a lot of effort and determination. So I want to be 100% clear with you and tell you that I'm not here to sell you on some overnight solution that is going to help you rebuild trust in your relationship. Because realistically speaking, again, like I said, it takes time. This is a process. It's a marathon, not a sprint. And it also depends on the severity of the breach of trust, right? So, what were some issues that happened in the relationship that led to you feeling like you need to rebuild trust? Was that infidelity? Was that a breakdown in communication? Was that a lie that was told? Was that disrespect, right? So, your partner disrespected you by using foul language or whatever the case may be. There are different degrees of severity in regards to the breaking of trust. And depending on what that is, your situation is going to be different and the approach will be different as well. That is why we usually recommend one-on-one coaching sessions, because we can sit down and really understand what it is that you are going through in your circumstance and then tailor a strategy or a plan specific to you. But I wanted to be able to provide you guys with some kind of generalized foundational steps that you can start to take in order to rebuild some trust in your relationship, right? So the first thing in regards to building trust is self-reflection. Taking time for yourself and trying to really understand what is at the root of the issue. Why is it that there was trust that was broken in the first place? If you were the individual who broke trust, what happened? Why did you break trust? What was going on in the relationship that made you unhappy and you felt maybe unfulfilled and it led you to do something that you normally would not do? How long have you been unhappy for? Has this been something that's been going on consistently that you have been hiding? Really just asking yourself the tough questions to try to understand, what is at the root cause. That is important because if you don't know what is at the root, you're not going to be able to move on. So a lot of self-awareness and self-reflection is important here, right? The secondary thing is communication. Communicating with your partner, starting to rebuild that trust through total transparency and authenticity. You are going to want to try to navigate those conversations in a way that are a little bit more emotionally neutral so that you aren't getting into big unnecessary fights. And I've covered this before in my communication training. So if you want to know a little bit more about communication, you can go ahead and click on one of my videos specific to communication and how to have consistent, productive, and efficient conversation in a relationship. But generally speaking, communication is going to be big. It's going to be huge in this situation because you guys have to have a meeting of the minds, right? And once you have identified some of the issues that are going on in the relationship, then you can start to talk about them. You can start to work through them and work through them as a team and together. Oftentimes, what I find with couples in my one-on-one sessions is that they attack each other instead of the problem. So I ask people to shift their mindset and their perspective and realize that they are a team and they are trying to tackle that thing together. So keep that in mind. The third thing is going to be consistency. Consistency is one of the precursors to being able to rebuild trust in a relationship. Consistency basically breaks down to feeling supported and feeling like you can rely on your partner. So if your partner tells you that they're going to be home at 5:30 p.m., then you should expect them to be home at 5:30 p.m. And if you are the person that said you were going to be home at 5:30 p.m., you should be home at 5:30 p.m. Now, I understand things happen in life. There's traffic, there's weather, whatever the case may be. But as long as you are maintaining an open dialogue and you are informing your partner of where you are at all times in regards to timing in regards to where you said you were going to be. That doesn't mean that you have to, have a tracking bracelet around you and your partner needs to know where you are at all times. But if you are telling your partner you're going to be home by a specific time and you're not going to be there at that time, express that to your partner, let them know, communicate with them. If you say you're going to pick up the kids every Wednesday and Thursday, pick up the kids every Wednesday and Thursday. If you say you're going to help around the house by doing the dishes and vacuuming, do the dishes and vacuum. Keeping that sense of consistency and letting your partner see that you are leading with actions instead of just unfulfilled words is incredibly important in being able to start to rebuild that trust in the marriage. The fourth one is going to be empathy, right? So having an understanding for your partner that they are going to be going through a difficult time emotionally because the trust was broken. And it's very possible that the both of you guys are going through something emotionally, right? Because you would not have broken trust if there wasn't anything that was going on emotionally with you. If there was something that you felt was missing in the relationship and you didn't feel fulfilled and it led you to be disrespectful or lie about something or have an affair, whatever the case may be, I know that it's also stemming from a place of pain and hurt. However, you have to take accountability for the fact that you are just one that decided to commit an act that broke trust in your relationship. And because of that, you have to have empathy and put yourself in your partner's shoes and understand that they're going to need time to process the act and figure out how they feel emotionally. So what you can do best right now is offer them as much support as possible. So asking them, I understand and I completely get where you're coming from. I'm sorry that I committed this act. I'm sorry that I broke trust in the relationship. I will continue to work to rebuild trust. What is it that you need from me right now in order to feel support? That is the best thing that you can do at this point. The fifth and final one is patience. Understand that it's going to take time. This isn't something that's going to be healed overnight or in a week, right? So trust is something that is built over time. And I've said this many times before, Rome wasn't built in one day, but it burnt down in one. So an act of infidelity, an act of lying, an act of disrespect can really break that trust in an instant. And it's going to take time to rebuild that. It'll take months, maybe sometimes years, depending on the severity of that breach of trust. And it's my job as a life and a relationship coach to be completely transparent and honest with you and say, this is going to be a process. I invite you to really sit down and think about how much energy it is going to take in order to invest and really rebuild the relationship. If that is something that you are willing to do, it's what you want to do, you love your partner and you want to repair and make up for the mistake, then I commend you, because it is not an easy road, but it can be an incredibly fulfilling one if you are able to reach the end and be successful. As I mentioned in the video, self-awareness is key, right? Really understanding yourself and how you process emotion and how you communicate that to other people. And if you are an individual who struggles with mindfulness and consciousness and really being self-aware of yourself, I highly recommend a product that we have on the Happily Committed website under the products tab called Self-Awareness. And this training helps you to start to understand how to become more self-aware, right? How to be able to process emotions so that you can shift the dynamics in your relationship. So you change the perception and your own individual mindset and how that affects you, your partner, and the people around you. I promise you guys, it is something that will change the dynamic of your relationship and it will help you to see the world in a different way. So I highly recommend going and checking out that product if it is something that you feel that you really need help with. If you like this video, if you relate to this video, please make sure you hit the like and subscribe button down below. I love having open dialogue with people. So if it's something that you related to, like I said, or you feel like maybe I missed something, leave your comment down below. I read them and I would love to see what you have to say. Maybe you just want to know a little bit more. You want to dive a little bit deeper. You can visit us at happilycommitted.com, where we have a multitude of different articles and blogs and videos related to this subject and many other subjects as well. Maybe you need to book a one-on-one coaching session with myself or one of the other amazing coaches that we have on the team because you feel like your situation is very particular and is different and you just need a little bit of guidance. We would be more than happy to support you through that. Just go to the website and you can book directly with one of us. Again, my name is Danny. I'm your life and relationship coach. I hope you guys are staying happy and healthy, and I'll see you guys soon.